So hi friends, I'm back with another video. Today we will discuss few error scenarios which we regularly encounter in COBOL programs. Knowingly or unknowingly, we encounter this kind of programs, very basic errors. So I will show you what kind of errors we'll regularly get and how to fix them. So you can see I have taken a program where there are two files. One is input file, one is output file. Okay, then this input file structure is this way: name, salary, indicated date, mail. So and filler is also there. So if you count, it becomes 10 plus 5 15, 16, 26 plus 24 50 plus 30 80. So input file length is 80, output file length is also I guess 80, 15, 16, 26, 50, 80. I have taken one variable WSA. It's a flag with which I will run the loop. Value is n. WSB, whose value is 0. So I have taken a counter. Now what I am doing is I have initialized this out track. I have opened input output files. Okay. Now I already know what which file I am going to take as input, which file I am going to take as output. That is why I already referred in the beginning in file as input and out file as output. But actually coming to this procedure division only, you can decide, the system will decide which is input, which is output. By the name itself you cannot decide. In file may be output file also, out file may be input file also, based on the file opening mode. But since I already knew, so I told in file as input, out file as output. Now I am running this loop until this WSA becomes Y. I'm reading in file at n move. I'm moving Y, not at n. I'm checking. I'm adding 1 to WSB. If it is less than 10, that means I'm moving the first 10 records. I think I've already shared a video on this. I'm moving this first 10 records of this input file from input to output. When it exceeds 10, that means it's more than 10, 11th record, it will move Y to WSA to complete this loop. Okay, that means it is not going to copy more than 10 records to output. So let me first compile this program and see how it goes. So if I compile, submit, maxcc4. Okay, now let me execute this program. So I have taken two files also, input and output. So submit Soc4 I have got. See, abandoned Soc4. So Soc4 error I have got. Let me check what the issue is. So if I go to spool, if I go to this execution JCL, let me go to CSOUT first. The system detected a protection exception, system completion code, Soc4 from compile init. This is at entry point this. So you can get nothing from here. It is one error. It's just telling that it's some error, but you cannot get much things from here. If you go to cdump, here you try to read each and everything, each and every line. So you might get some clue from here. Okay. So try to read the messages from top to bottom. You might get some clue. I'll go to the last part of it, MF8. So condition processing resulted in the unhandled condition. This step name is this, user ID is this, then go up, go up, go up, go up. Error was not compiled with the same test option, something is there. So you can't get this exact error from here. And where will you get this error from? How will you understand what kind of error it has encountered? So on the right hand side also, if I want to check, no concrete message, you cannot come to a conclusion what the error exactly is. So that is why in case of this Soc4 events, you should always know what are the possible reasons of Soc4. One of the possible reasons is if you don't open the file and you try to read it, sometimes it may come if you don't close the file. Sometimes it comes when you try to move more array values through JCLs, this dynamic value subscript. So which when it exceeds the subscript limit, it will give this SOC4 error. In this case, we don't have any subscript, and is that we have files, and there is a possible chance that there's a possibility that the files are not were not opened, and the files were processed already. So let us check in procedure division what I have done. So go to procedure division. First check what I have done is I have done a mistake here. I am directly initializing the out track, then I am opening input and output, which is a big mistake. I cannot initialize or do anything, move any value or process or do anything with the files unless and until I open the files. First thing is inside environment division data file control, you have to define the file, you have to do the mapping. Inside file section in data division, you have to do the define the file structure. Inside procedure division, first thing is we have to open the files, whichever is input, open in input mode, whichever is output, open in output mode. Then only we can do this initialize, we can read, we can perform, we can move, we can write, all these things we can do later on. So this is the mistake that I have done, initialize. So I will move this initialize line after open out file. Okay. After open output out file, I have saved it. Since I have changed the program, I will have to compile it again. So let me compile. Okay, maxcc4. Let me execute it. SU4038. This is another error which we regularly get. Now go to spool what this error is. This is user error. Go to sysout. Here you get the error. See, a file attribute mismatch was detected. File out file in program error had a record length of 80, and in the assign clause it had a record length of 90. So clearly it is written that it is written for which file this error is coming. Also it is coming for the file out file. So in the program error, the length is mentioned as 80, but in the JCL it is mentioned as 90. It is clearly written. Now go to the program and check whether it is actually 80 or not. Count it. 10. So this is the out file. For this one, error is coming. So 10 plus 5, 15, 16, 26, 26 plus 24, 50, 50 plus 30, 80. So correct 80 only. So now check, out file was assigned to DD2. Now check the length of this output file which is already generated. So go to 3.4, check it, information. See, the length is 90. This is the mistake. You have taken a file as output in JCL which has a length of 90, but in the program you have defined it as 80. So one thing you can do is you can either change the filler here in the program, or you can take a different file. Oops. So what I'll do is I'll save it. I have changed the length filler as 40 so that this output file length is 90 now. So I will compile it. Compilation is successful. Now I will execute it. See, execution is successful. Now if you go to this output file, you can check the data. See, clearly it's copied. So this is the input file, ps.input. Whatever data it had, exactly copied, and only 4 copied because in input file also we have only 4 records. If we had more than 4 records, that means more than 10 records in input file, only first 10 would have been copied as per the program logic. But the main motive of making this video was how to find this kind of errors. We find them regularly we don't find them in production, but generally in development, while testing, we find this kind of errors. By mistake, we sometimes process the file, read it, initialize it, move records, write records before even opening it. That time we get SOC4. And also when there is a file attribute mismatch, it may happen with both input and output. We have defined a file length in the Now we have defined a different file length in the program, and we have defined a separate file length in the JCL. That time we will definitely get it. So this kind of errors we should avoid. And obviously during testing, you will find this kind of errors. And actually it is good to get this kind of errors so that you will be more familiar with this kind of errors. So next time, whenever you see this kind of errors, immediately you will find out, okay, this might be the issue. I can directly go there and can fix it. You don't have to read each and every line in the spool. That is how you will, it is actually helpful to get this kind of errors. You will definitely not get this kind of errors in production region, because these programs will be thoroughly tested, and this kind of errors will be easily found out. Because if this kind of errors are there, you cannot test and it cannot be delivered also. Because in test only you will find out, in testing regions only, testing region, another round of testing will be done there also. It may be found out if you can't find it out as a developer. So in developing region you will find these errors, and it is good to get, and you will learn a lot of things out of this. So this is one of the cases of SOC4 error. I will make more videos on possible SOC4 errors, SOC7 errors, SOC-B errors. So please suggest me on what kind of topics you want videos. I will make those videos. So I hope this video is helpful. Let's meet in another video. Until then, take care. Bye.